March 3, 1942, Seattle, Washington. The air inside Boeing Plant 2 trembles like the inside of a drum. Rows of B-17 flying fortresses, bare skeletons of aluminium and steel, stretch across the concrete floor. Each one suspended in a web of scaffolding. Electric saws scream, pneumatic rivet guns hammer in unison like artillery. Sparks fall from welders' torches like tiny shooting stars. The world outside is at war. And inside this cavernous factory, another kind of battle rages, the war against time. The United States Army Air Forces demand bombers faster than Boeing can build them. The Luftwaffe dominates Europe. Britain bleeds under nightly raids. American generals want fleets of flying fortresses ready to cross the Atlantic. But each B-17 takes nearly 230 days to complete. Every day lost here, another city burns out there. Amid the thunder of machines, a young woman works at the wing assembly line. Her name is Ellie Johnson. 23 years old, from Tacoma, a riveter, one of thousands of women filling the spaces left by men who've gone to war. She grips a heavy Chicago pneumatic rivet gun, driving pins through cold metal. The sound pounds through her body, her hands aching with each burst of air. Her overalls are stained with oil, her red scarf tucked beneath safety goggles. Above her station, a sign reads, "The fortress wins the war." But as Ellie watches the men drag a giant wing jig across the hangar floor, she can't help but think how slow it all is. 6 men pushing, cursing, sweating, just to rotate a 60-foot wing so they can work on the other side. The process repeats hundreds of times a week. "There's got to be a better way," she mutters. Her partner, a wiry welder named Ruth Ellis, laughs. "What, you gonna turn the whole factory on its head?" Ellie smiles faintly but doesn't answer. Her mind is already moving faster than the assembly line. She doesn't know it yet, but that single thought will help cut bomber production time in half. And ripple across every aircraft plant in America. The narrator's voice overlays the sound of hissing air hoses and hammering steel. While bombers reigned over Europe, another kind of army was forming at home. Women in coveralls, machinists, welders, riveters. Their battlefield was made of steel and noise. And their weapons were ideas. The camera lingers on Ellie's face, focused, determined, as she wipes a streak of oil from her cheek and stares at the massive, half-finished wing before her. She doesn't know it yet, but she's about to change history. It's late evening. The shift whistle has blown. The factory lights dim, but the sound never truly stops. Compressors hum. Forklifts rumble in the shadows. The smell of hot metal and oil hangs thick in the air. Ellie lingers near her station, sketchbook in hand. She's been thinking about the problem for days, the jigs, the inefficiency, the lost time moving each wing. She watches a maintenance crew try to reposition one of the 60-foot wing frames. They struggle to line it up with hydraulic lifts, barking orders over the din. Chains creak, the wing shudders dangerously. Ellie flinches. One wrong move and the whole structure could collapse. Her pencil scratches over the paper, rough lines forming circles, arrows, and crude geometry. A platform that turns itself. She thinks. A track beneath the jig. The wing rotates, not the workers. She can almost see it spinning, smoothly and safely. The idea feels obvious, too obvious. A voice cuts through the hum behind her. "Johnson, still here?" It's Charles Brennan, her foreman. His shirt sleeves are rolled to the elbow, tie loose, hands black with grease. He's one of the few supervisors who treats the women with respect. "Sir," Ellie says, standing straight. "You should be home. What's that you're drawing?" She hesitates, then holds out the sketch. Brennan studies it under the pale factory light. "A rotating platform?" "Yes, sir, for the wing line. If the fixture turned instead of being moved, we could work non-stop." "You know what this means," he says slowly. "Rebuilding half the line." Ellie looks down. "I know, but it would work." Brennan studies her for a moment longer, then nods. "You've got guts, Johnson. Tell you what, bring that sketch to Whitmore in engineering. He's the one who can make or break this idea." Ellie's eyes widen. "Whitmore, the senior engineer?" "That's the one." He listens. "Sometimes." The next morning, she walks into engineering section C, clutching her notepad like a holy text. The engineers, mostly men in white shirts and ties, pause when they see her. Women don't usually come in here. Whitmore, tall and broad-shouldered with round glasses, looks up from a drafting board. "Can I help you, miss?" "Johnson, wing assembly, line 3. He frowns slightly. "All right, Johnson, what brings you here?" Ellie lays the sketch on his desk. He studies it, silent. His brow furrows, then lifts. A rotating jig assembly, he says softly. Interesting, saves floor space, cuts movement time, could even fit continuous assembly flow. He looks up. You drew this? Yes, sir, just an idea. Whitmore leans back, a small smile forming. Well, Miss Johnson, your idea might just be the thing this factory needs. Over the following weeks, Ellie is invited to meetings she's never dreamed of attending, discussions with engineers, machinists, and plant managers. They test her design in miniature. A small prototype, 3 feet wide, rotates smoothly on bearings. By April 1942, Boeing management approves a full-scale installation. The workers call it Ellie's turntable. Management calls it something more official, the rotating assembly fixture. The narrator's voice slides in over the scene of men and women welding the massive structure together. It was a simple idea. A circular platform built into the floor. The entire wing assembly mounted on it, rotating slowly as crews worked. No lifting, no dragging, no wasted time. For the first time in history, aircraft wings could be built like cars, on a moving line. The day of the test arrives. Ellie stands beside Whitmore, her hands trembling as the motor hums to life. The massive platform turns, smoothly, gracefully, bearing the weight of the unfinished B-17 wing like a giant clock hand. The riveters cheer, even Brennan laughs, slapping Whitmore on the back. Well, I'll be damned, it works. Ellie can't help smiling. The camera lingers on the reflection of the spinning wing in her safety goggles, gleaming aluminium turning under bright industrial lights. She whispers, half to herself. Now we can really build them. By summer 1942, the rotating assembly fixture is fully operational. Production speed surges. Instead of one wing every 6 days, the line turns one out every 3. The factory becomes a living organism, a perfect rhythm of metal and motion. The turntable never stops. As one team finishes riveting, another begins wiring, another sealing. The work flows like water. The results reach Washington within weeks. Army procurement officers visit, watching the wings glide past like parts of a giant machine. One colonel mutters to another. It's like Henry Ford joined the Air Corps. They aren't wrong. Boeing's innovation, born from Ellie's sketch, will soon spread to Douglas, Lockheed, and North American. Within a year, every major aircraft plant in America adopts rotating jigs. The U.S. War Production Board cites it as one of the top mechanical innovations of 1942. But for Ellie, the recognition is subtle. Her name doesn't appear in reports or blueprints. She still clocks in with the same ID badge, the same calloused hands gripping the same rivet gun. Yet she feels the difference in every sound around her. The factory moves like a heartbeat now, constant, steady, alive. She walks past the turntable one morning and stops to watch a new crew at work. The wing turns effortlessly, sunlight glinting off its polished skin. Ruth Ellis, her friend, waves from across the line. You see that? That's your baby turning right there. Ellie laughs softly. No, she says, that's America turning. By late 1943, B-17s roll off the line faster than anyone believed possible. 12,000 in total will be built before the war ends. Each one owes its wings to the innovation that began with a single sketch on an oil-stained notepad. As the narrator's voice deepens, newsreel footage plays. From Seattle to Wichita, American factories thundered day and night. Their machines powered not just by steel and oil, but by imagination. The Flying Fortress became the symbol of American might. And behind every rivet stood the minds that made it fly. September 1944, England. Over the skies of Germany, B-17s thunder in formation, the bloody 100th. The Memphis Belle, 909. Each one a child of that factory floor in Seattle. Inside the cockpits, airmen stare out over the broad silver wings that carry them through flak and fire. They'll never know the name of the woman whose idea made those wings possible. But without her, without the thousands like her, those wings might never have been built in time. The final scene returns to Boeing Plant 2. Post-war. The assembly lines are quiet now. Dust floats in the golden light through the windows. Ellie stands by the same turntable, now still, like a relic of a machine that helped win a war. She runs her hand along the cold steel edge. Her reflection stares back at her in the polished surface. It wasn't just planes we built, she whispers. It was the future. The narrator closes over the echoing stillness. Wars are remembered for their generals, their battles, their heroes. But sometimes, history turns, quietly, on the hands of a factory worker. One who looked at a problem, and imagined it could move.